Good morning, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium, once again. Today, the video is about paranormal. The word paranormal is probably made up by a scientist because the definition is that which is not understandable by scientific means. Yeah. Well, what's paranormal to you is normal for me. Clairvoyance, yeah, that's considered a paranormal experience. I hear things all the time. They always turn out to be true. I see things, I feel things, I hear things, and they have those names: clairvoyance, clairsentient. They have all these words made up by somebody, again, who's not a medium. Because we say, I smell, I see, I hear, I feel things from the other side. Who made up those words? They're probably a scientist. Anyway, one time I used to do paranormal investigations, really, which weren't paranormal investigations because I knew what was there as soon as I came in the building. But people wanted to know. I'm having strange things happen around my house, which began to occur about the time all these television shows came out with paranormal investigators knocking on the wall and getting them to knock back and mostly saying, dude, did you hear that? Dude. These are people who aren't in the field. They're people who have a hobby. And it's a great hobby. I don't think it can be beat. You're in the dark, you've got flashlights, you're running around looking for stuff, you've got your little meters reading things, and what's more fun than that? Great fun. Every kid's always wanted to do that, and that's all we're. It's mostly guys, and we're just big kids. We're not grown-ups. And every episode ends the same. They don't know who it is, but they know your house is haunted. So I would run across that. I'd be out investigating homes and say, well, we had investigators here, and they said we had a haunted house. I said, yeah, but they didn't tell you who it was, did they? No, probably something evil. And for some reason, they would hire me to come in behind them, and I'd say, oh, it's Aunt Sarah. And she died this way, and she fell down the stairs, and she had a heart attack and whatever, and then you pass some messages, and then there's always more peripheral spirits there. There's never just one. There's never just one. There are spirits you know who are there, people who have passed, who were connected to you. Then there's, you can call them riffraff if you want, because that's the word I'm getting, riffraff. They don't belong there, but they're there. They have, and I think I was in one house one day, and the owner, why are you here? Why are you here? The owner started saying that. He said, well, we got to be someplace. Didn't make the homeowner feel better, but, well, I want them gone. And we had these people out here, and they smudged the house. They lit this stuff, and it really stunk, and they went around the house doing that. Spirits don't smell that. They're in another place. They're not affected by anything we do here. They affect us. It's the opposite of what you think. We don't affect them. Go away, go away. Ooh, yeah, like that's going to happen. Occasionally they go away when you listen. When they have a message to tell you, they've completed whatever mission they wanted to do. Get that fireplace fixed. It's a hazard. And you fix the fireplace and they'll go away. And until they have something else, until you're in some other kind of danger or need some help or guidance in your life in some way, navigational, children, all these things, then they're back. They don't go away. The guy once who paid people to come to his house and do all that, and I was standing there and I got her name right. The woman he wanted to get rid of, she's around you now. She's right there. Oh my gosh, he said, I paid these people money. Spirits don't do what we tell them to do because we're human, so we think we're almighty. You know, we'll rule the world, we'll sail ships, we'll go to the moon. Doesn't affect spirits at all. They do what they want to do. And you can either listen to it, ignore it, whatever, but they don't generally stop. I know if I'm not listening, they don't stop until they finally make that point. I got one yesterday. It's very strange, something I've been ignoring since July. And I was riding along in the car. They said it clearly and loudly. I just hadn't been listening. I said, oh my gosh, that's what that is. A very important one. So they don't go away unless they deliver the message. Then it's usually only temporary. They only mean you good. They don't mean harm. Unless you're this good English or not. They wish you well. But a whole cottage industry has grown up around paranormal investigations. They don't charge any money to do it, I don't think. The ones I've run along behind, they're just out trying to have fun, trying to investigate the unknown. What's better than that? And if you meet any of these guys, they're great guys. They have their shirts on, black shirts with green, that slimy green lettering of what paranormal group they belong to. And they're serious about it. And they're fun. And they're interesting. And they're very smart. A lot of smart guys in those organizations. But I kept wondering why they weren't taking a psychic medium along with them to communicate and tell them who was there instead of knocking on walls and guessing. The reason is that it takes all the fun out of it. It takes all the fun out of it. The fun is in the investigation and the going out and we're going to do lockdown and we're going to run all these cameras and we're going to do all this neat stuff and our EVP things. We're going to go everywhere. That's the fun of it. And if I walked in and said, oh, it's Aunt Sarah, blah, 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 well, where can they go? It ruins it. But these guys are great. And if they want to investigate something for you, sounds like fun to me. I wouldn't miss it. I've been in on one. And their equipment is unbelievable. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And they have a great time. And they're a great organization. But they're not doing medium work. They're investigating. Mediums don't generally investigate. If they're clairvoyant like me, there's that word again. If they hear things like me, they don't need meters. It is interesting that one time someone brought one of those meters over to my place. Someone they were related to bought it for him. It was very expensive. And we set it up and turned it on, did everything. And I had an aunt come through and speak on it. I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty neat. I didn't need a meter to tell me she was around me. She was one that always bought me gloves that would fit a 4-year-old. Even when I was in high school, I got these little gloves. I said, Mom, why does she keep sending these every year? Well, she just doesn't think you're growing up, that you're the same size. Or maybe she bought a box of them and just sent me a pair every year. But every year it'd be the same gloves, even though I lived in Texas, where gloves are pretty silly. It doesn't get that cold. She was a great aunt, though. Interesting. And she's around all the time, but I didn't need a meter to tell me. Just like your relatives around you. And usually, people who have lost a relative tend to tell when they're around. You don't need a meter either. So, just thought you might want to know what the word paranormal means to medium. Not much. but the guys connected with that activity, yeah, they're pretty interesting guys and girls. They drag their wives along, and they all have fun. It's a family. It's clean family fun. You can get out with your entire family and do these things, and it's very scientific and very regimented, and probably beats bowling. As always, no fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.